I am sending a direct message to him. There is a new sheriff in town. He cannot come to Edo without telling me. I am serious about it. He came the other day and donated 15 million. By the time he left, there was crisis. 3 people died in Benin. So for that reason, tell Obi he should not come to Edo without telling me.
Governor Okpebholo of Edo State seems to be denying Mr. Peter Obi his rights to even marry from Edo State if he wants. But he even says he cannot come there. But he now says he was misunderstood. There was a video evidence that everybody has seen. He was saying his security will not be guaranteed, and how will he dare come to Edo State without clearing with him? If you want to go to Edo State, you have to clear with the governor, whether you are a politician or not. So please, this is the dilemma. Can you help us unpack it?
Well, thank you for this once more. I am going to unpack this dilemma from 3 perspectives or more. 1, as a constitutional and human rights lawyer. 2, as an opposition leader. And 3, as a citizen of Nigeria from Southeast extraction. Now, as a lawyer, you have rightly pointed out that Section 41 is very clear. And let me state what Section 41 said clearly. That every citizen of Nigeria shall be entitled to move freely underline, throughout Nigeria, and to reside in any part thereof. And no citizen of Nigeria shall be expelled from Nigeria or denied entry thereto or exit therefrom. If you put it into context with Edo State, it simply means no citizen of Nigeria can be expelled from Edo State or denied entry into Edo State or exit therefrom. And every citizen of Nigeria has the right to move freely in Edo State. So what the governor said is unconstitutional, it is illegal, it is irresponsible, and it's largely illiterate. Coupled with Section 39 that guarantees freedom of expression and Section 40 that guarantees freedom of association and assembly. Having said that, as a lawyer, let me talk as an opposition leader. This is a direct attack, threat, intimidation of opposition leaders. Recall that Adams Oshomole blocked airports. Even the Minister of Aviation noted that what he did was wrong, yet nobody threatened him. Nobody locked him up. If it were an opposition leader, he would have been in jail cooling off before anything is said and done. But whenever you come to APC, your sins are forgiven. And look at an innocent citizen just because he's an opposition leader. He's been threatened, his life been threatened, that he should not step into Edo State by a governor that is INEC produced, figure challenged, pinchomic and petite, and largely illiterate, like I said. Now, let me come in from the point of being a citizen from Igbo extraction. I sense tribalistic, cheap, ethnic bigotry in this governor. If Peter Obi were to be a leader from Hausa land or from Yoruba land, this governor will not dare make such a statement. Recall, when 16 persons were killed in Edo State, before even making any investigation, he ran to Kano State to prostrate. That was a good thing, because life is very, very essential. The same governor that did that is the same governor that is threatening the life of a human being for just coming into your state. This is very annoying. It's a direct threat to Igbo people. It's a direct threat and exhibition of being an Igbo hater. And that should stop. Let me tell you, from where I come from, when you kill even a madman, that's when you know that he has a brother. If a strand of hair falls from Peter Obi, because this is a direct attack and threat to his life. Remember, the governor made it clear. He said his security can no longer be guaranteed. He used the word never, if he does not take permission from him. Let me ask Monday Okpebholo, does it mean that when he finishes as a governor, before he travels to any state in Nigeria, he would have to seek the permission of all the governors?
Okay.
Does it mean that 200 million Nigerians, before they step into Edo State, they would have to seek permission from the governor?
Okay.
And in the case of AMPP versus the IGP, the law has even been made clear that you don't even need permission, even when you want to embark on a protest. And I'm talking about peaceful protest.
Okay.
If you don't need permission when you want to embark on a protest, how can a governor be talking about permission to visit a state?
Okay.
That is in bad taste.
Okonkwo,
that is offensive.
These are the questions.
I reject it with everything that is within me. You know, that is why Julius Caesar said,
yes,
in Julius Caesar, he said, let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men, such as Monday Okpebholo, who has a lean and hungry look. They think too much of themselves. He says some men are dangerous.
Okay, Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo, let me
I'm sure
step in
even if
at
you
this
go to his
point.
office,
Let me
you
step in
won't
on
even see
this
him.
point. Okay,
He's so
we
petite
don't,
and so chonic.
Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo, let's maintain a level of, decorum. We were having a very intellectual exchange. Let's maintain it at that level. Let's talk about the philanthropic aspect.
What decorum has the governor maintained by threatening the life of a Nigerian citizen?
I understand.
What decorum by saying that he said he doesn't give shishi and that he's giving 50 million? What decorum?
I totally understand.
I don't maintain decorum to people who do not deserve it.
Which is fully understood. But, let's keep the conversation, as controlled as we can. I understand your passion. It's totally valid. You're entitled to that. On the issue of philanthropy,
if that governor does not apologize, I'll be on his case.
Okay.
Why I'm saying this is very clear. Peter Obi may have his own style of doing things. I have my own style. If you disagree with him, as I do at times, leave him to do his own thing, his own way. He is entitled to his freedoms. They are fundamental to him. If you don't like it, leave him. But not to threaten his life. How can a Peter Obi, which you know that I even quarrel with the way he does his own things, how can he pose a security threat to a state? And that reminds me, because Peter Obi has to even up his game. Because the Benue State governor did almost the same thing. And Peter Obi kept quiet. And now this governor I'm just trying to force myself to be civil. Now this governor, again, is trying to do the same thing. So if you don't like the way he does his own things, he's entitled to it. For me, for instance, I like to do my philanthropic things, largely secret, because of my religious belief. Let your left not know what your right is doing. But somebody who is a politician may decide to do otherwise. That is his own entitlement. And you don't have the right to threaten his life. Now they are saying protocol. What do you mean by protocol? Do you need permission to go to any state? What protocol is it? Does Peter Obi appear to you as a man that can threaten anybody's life? Because he is saying that his security is not guaranteed. The primary duty of any government is to ensure the security and life of the people in your state, in your territory. And this is a governor that is rather threatening the lives of the people in his state, in his government. What a governor. So what I am saying is that Peter Obi does not pose any threats to anybody's life.
Okay.
Of course, this is about perspective. You will come once again to this very channel in the unfolding drama of Nigerian politics, where alliances shift and words carry weight of destinies. A fresh controversy has sparked outrage across political lines. Just when we all thought the political tension ahead of 2027 was cooling off, a statement made by the governor of Edo State has thrown fuel into the fire. And now, Kenneth Okonkwo, the fiery spokesperson of the Obedient Movement and Labour Party stalwart, has responded with unfiltered passion. But what really happened? Why is Kenneth Okonkwo up in arms against a fellow Southern governor? And what exactly was said about Peter Obi that is causing this political storm? To me, this is more than just a political beef. It's a reflection of a dangerous and rising trend where politicians seem uncomfortable, sometimes even hostile, towards the growing influence of Mr. Peter Obi. In fact, this is not the first time something like this has happened. We would also cite the scenario of the Benue governor trying to make almost the same move against Mr. Peter Obi. Stay with us because this story runs deeper than just a war of words. Heading up to the news, recently reports emerged that the governor of Edo State made a bold, politically charged remark implying that Peter Obi should not come to Edo State. He made it clear that Obi's security would never, be guaranteed. And of course, whether said directly or implied in political circles, it quickly set off a wave of condemnation and concern. And of course, every goodwill Nigerian should condemn it. It was interpreted by many as an attempt to intimidate, restrict, or even undermine Peter Obi's movement in a state that has traditionally been political diverse. So it's really uncalled for. How did Kenneth Okonkwo respond? Unsurprisingly, in fiery response, Kenneth Okonkwo described the governor's utterance as an insult to democracy and accused him of trying to turn Edo into a political monarchy. He stated clearly that Peter Obi is not just a candidate, but a symbol of hope, transparency, and a new Nigeria. And you can't stop a symbol. You can't cage a vision. This were all the words of Kenneth Okonkwo. To Kenneth Okonkwo, when this question came to him about the speech made by the governor, he tried to actually analyze it according to him in three perspectives. And first, to him as a human rights lawyer, He cited that no Nigerians should be barred from any part of Nigeria, that it is a constitutional right for someone to move, for a Nigerian to move to any part of Nigeria so he or she wishes. So analyzing this, coming from a legal background, Kenneth Okonkwo reminded Nigerians, and especially those states, leadership, that freedom of movement, expression, and political participation are constitutional rights. In Nigeria's democracy, no governor, has the authority, the right, the effrontery to restrict the movement of a citizen, whether it be in Peter or a market woman even. So as a human rights lawyer, Kenneth Okonkwo made it clear that no political office holder is above the constitution, that any attempt to say a national figure should not come to any state violates section 35, 38 and 40 of 1999 Nigerian Constitution. And this, of course, guarantee freedom of movement, association, and expression. So Kenneth Okonkwo viewed the statement from the governor not just as a political arrogance, but as a threat to P2B, and of course to, democratic order. The bottom line is, in this perspective of his, he set a legal tone and warns all political actors that governance must operate within the bounds of the law, not personal emotion or party rivalry. So secondly, he actually explained this as an opposition leader, one of the opposition leaders, and he said that P2B is not just a politician, that is also a voice of the oppressed, and you can't silence that voice. So from Kenneth Okonkwo political standpoint, it framed the governor's statement as a classic move by the ruling elite to shut down opposition, by trying to delegitimize P2B's presence in Edo State. And it becomes a desperate attempt to suppress alternative leadership and silence the growing influence of the Labour Party. So Kenneth Okonkwo positioned the opposition leaders as the voice of the people, and especially those who feel betrayed by the traditional, parties like PDP and APC. So he made it clear that trying to bind opposition is the behavior of dictatorship and not a democracy. So it is very clear, no one owns a state just because you are a governor. It is not done. He stressed that this cannot be said to someone coming from Kaduna or any other part, any other northern part of Nigeria, and as well that it also cannot be said to someone that is from Yoruba land. I mean, to Igbo people, they have been historically, marginalized and excluded from top political positions. So P2B represents more than a politician. He represents hope, visibility, and a long-awaited voice at the national table. So Kenneth Okonkwo emphasized that publicly insulting P2B, especially from a fellow, certain leader, sends a dangerous message to the Igbo community that unity is being undermined from within, and that the political statement and the political establishment is still uncomfortable with Igbo leadership rising at national prominence. So it's not just a political insult, but I mean, what is it about this P2B? What is it about them? This is not the first time. The Benue incident. Now, let's even rewind to that very controversial moment when P2B attempted to visit internally displaced persons, IDP camp in Benue State during or shortly after, the 2023, general elections. He intended to bring aid, solidarity, and national attention to the suffering of these displaced citizens. But what did the governor do? He made it to become a flashpoint, a political flashpoint, just like in Edo. Many describe it as petty political jealousy and even worse. So what is it about P2B that unsettles these governors? What is it about him? Is it his clean image in Deti's system? Is it the fact that he's not playing the usual political godfather games? Is it the threat he poses to entrench the political dominance in many states like he did in 2023? Or is it even simply the fear of a new kind of politician who answers to the people and not to party overlords? But to me, all these whole baggages were not necessary. Asking P2B not to come to your state, what threat does P2B pose? What threat would he pose to the people of Edo State? Does that even make sense? Of course, Kenneth Okonkwo's bold response is not just about this one governor's words. It's a warning to all political actors who think they can suppress democratic engagement. You don't get to decide who enters your state in a democracy. Nigeria is a one nation. Every citizen, especially a national figure like Peter Obi, has the right to travel anywhere, to engage with the people, and to speak freely the way he wants. So these repeated incidents from Benue to Edo are no longer coincidence. They are a pattern, and patterns reveal truth. So what do you think, my audience? Are these governors simply being territorial, or is there a larger political, of course, there are larger political control conspiracy to shut down the obedient movement? So the question is, should Peter Obi confront these issues head on? Because I'm not seeing it ending anytime soon. These attacks on him is seemingly to be, from the states he actually performed well during the last election. So if you found this analysis insightful, leave your comment and subscribe. Of course, you need to share for more fearless political breakdowns. Thank you once again for your audience. This is your space for truth, integrity, and bold conversation about the future of Nigeria. Until next time, stay informed, stay alert, and above all, stay obedient.